So here we are today with Mark Woolley from Electric London. He's back in Toronto. Hey, Mark.
So happy to be here. I love it.
Glad to have you back.
Well, I think I haven't brought the English weather with me this time.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly though.
The whole idea of tonight, it's great to be here in Studio Fontana, and we're going to host an electric sessions. That's something we have done for lots of years in the UK. And we share all of our ideas with an audience, and with the hope that they can take things back to the salon tomorrow and give people new ideas. But also for us, it's an important part of the creative process to once you've had an idea and learned how to execute it, you've got to share it with an audience, and then you've got to move on and think of the next thing.
Right, for sure. And I guess through these sessions, they learn about all the electric products and how you use them in session styling.
Yeah. So we're building a great community here in Toronto, and there's more and more people using the products. But I think there's a whole lifestyle that goes with it, and we love telling the story and hopefully seeing it grow everywhere.
For sure. And so electric is in Canada already, but you're definitely growing.
Yeah, we are, and I think I love the whole Canadian hair industry, because I think it's very much like the British hair industry. It's led by creativity and a direct link to fashion. And there's some great hairdressers here. I've met so many great people. Brilliant.
And what can we expect for tonight and also tomorrow, you said?
Yeah, well, tonight is all about, as we said, really easy to digest, new ideas, that people can take back to the salon. We're going to see a mixture of haircuts. Most of those tend to be the electric signature work that, has a fashion edge, but, strong perimeter lines, but with the hair having free movement and free texture. And we're going to share some editorial techniques as well. Some of the hair we've done for runway shows primarily last season, but as soon as I get back to England, we'll be starting again, in London Fashion Week in February. And again, those things, they're not separate from what you can do in the salon. I think if somebody comes into a salon and wants any sort of updo or red carpet hair, they want something that's relevant and they can link to what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, for sure. So you've done tons of backstage, runway, fashion shows in the UK.
Yeah. It's been a big part of what we've done over the years. Electric's always been centered around editorial work and session work. And we try and bring all that into our salons as well, and the salons we work with the products. If we can, I think hair has to be relevant, and it has to excite the person who's having it in the salon, the client. And the hairdresser has to be excited doing it. So that's the whole essence of our education.
For sure. Well, when you're taking things directly from the runway and you're kind of trickling it down a little for, your stylist to use and maybe pick up a little tip and trick from that behind the chair. I guess that's kind of how that all works.
Exactly that. And I think, hair and all of the creative industries, it's got to be continually moving, as you've mastered one thing, you've got to learn the next thing and immediately move forward and keep it progressive.
For sure. So tell me more about your space in London, your amazing electric space.
Electric space.
Yeah.
Well, it was a dream really for many years, to have that and for it to house some of the amazing session hairdressers we work with the products. It gives them a chance to have a great salon experience. And I think, it's a collaborative space. We've got a private cinema, as we say, but movie theatre in there. So we do film screenings. We do a lot of post-Fashion Week events. We do music industry events. And the vision is those people are going to mix with the hairdressers. We wanted to create a breeding ground for success, and a breeding ground for hairdressers to mix with all of these people and get opportunities from it.
Right. Now, this is a multi-level place with so many things happening. You've got your art and art gallery, which we'll touch on in a second, and also your salon. And then you have a barber section too, and then your theater, and there's a bar.
We've got a photographic studio, the bar, actually.
The bar. That's ground floor, right?
Well, the bar can be operated on any floor, but being English, that's obviously very important.
It's fully licensed, is what you're saying. Okay.
I've got Darren Webster here with me, who's a great, really celebrated hairdresser in the UK, and he would only come and work there if we had a bar. He said. Is that right, Darren?
So yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like your own. I call you like the Andy Warhol of the UK hair industry, really, because it is a collaborative space for artists to come and just be inspired and do different things in your space.
Well, I think the truth is as well, it's given me a lot of opportunities to meet people that I've admired. You know, not hairdressers and other musicians, artists. You know, and you know, it's just that collaborative space. I mean, the big news is we're going to bring it to North America, you know, so we're actively, it's done very well in London, you know, the 3 or 4 years we've operated it. Mm-hmm. We're actively looking for a site in New York, which is obviously very accessible for Toronto as well. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing that in somewhere near the end of this year, I think.
Amazing. So one of those floors is a gallery, which also includes some of your art, and you've been working on lots of different type of artwork and kind of graffiti collage style.
Yeah, I think my stuff's like kind of modern pop art. We've done a lot of exhibitions in there for other artists, and I think a lot of hairdressers do other, you know, some are musicians, some do art, some, you know, and that's something I've always done. But you know, we've had some really great artists come in and do exhibitions. I always get a bit embarrassed when they come in because I think, wow, they're, you know, I'm you know,
hobnobbing with the
well,
best.
there's people that I'm looking, you know, that you really admire. All of a sudden, they're holding an exhibition within our place, which is good.
That's great. And you were creating a collage of UK hairstylists or just the hair industry in
legends of British hairdressing. So it was something that. You know, it was a big project in the UK that we did. I think we started it in 2022 and finished it at the beginning of last year. We had a big event. Everybody who's ever, I don't know, made any sort of waves in British hairdressing, we celebrated in this collage. I mean, I love the Canadian industry. I'd really like to do one for here. You know, I think you guys have got an amazing community, and you know, like what you know, I've known you all the time. We've been coming to Canada, and you know, you're obviously a respected figure in the industry. But what you're doing with Beauty Hub is amazing. You know, you're bringing all these people together, not just from Canada, from you know, I know you work with people from all over the world, but I do think there's an amazing community in Canadian hairdressing.
So much talent in Canada. I mean, when you look at the Nahas, I mean, how often is there a Canadian winning them all? Yeah, just at the Goldville big event that we did in Chicago, there's a bunch of Canadians winning there. So we're definitely a talented group of people in Canada.
Definitely. I think there's a real high standard of work within the industry, but you know, more importantly, very, very nice, positive people that are all helping each other.
Yeah, we are like very nice people.
In England,
we're always very polite and sorry.
but very, you know, it's. I've got quite a few Canadian friends in London, and I think there is a real positivity to it, and you can see it in the Canadian hair industry. Sometimes in the UK, it all gets a bit competitive, you know. But it's brilliant.
Right. So you're going to do this collage in Canada as well, then?
Yeah. Well, I think the maple leaf, the flag, you know, is lends itself with the British one. We did the Union Jack.
Right.
So we created this collage of images with all of their hairdressers' faces and portraits in, and then over the top with paint, thinned down paint, we created a Union Jack silkscreen, and I think you could really do that with you know, the maple leaf and the, you know, and having the red and white. I think it'd be really strong.
That would be really amazing. Well, and I think, you put yours in the Soho House in the UK.
In London. So I think we should have one in the Soho House in Toronto.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea.
Maybe you could help me with it.
Sure, let's have a big party around that too.
I'm all in.
Okay.
Parties,
I'm down with that.
That's good.
So another one of your big projects or places is Farmer Court.
Yeah.
So what's Farmer Court all about?
Well, you know, it's with the big thing about our products, and when people say to me, "Hey, what's different about electric?" Because there's, you know, millions of product lines out there. I always say, look, the main difference is we develop it and we manufacture it. You know, we're not just a brand and somebody else makes it. We've always sourced all of our own ingredients. We've done all of that from within the British Isles. And in 2015, I bought this farm. it was so funny because when I was a kid, I grew up in the north of England in quite a small town.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I was old enough, I moved to London, you know, wanting to live in the,
Big
you know,
city.
the city. I feel like I've gone full circle. So I spend half the week in the city in London. And then, you know, my farm is about an hour outside of London. It's next to Brighton, which is quite a vibrant city.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're growing some of the ingredients there. We've got some historic buildings there. So we've done quite a lot of big music events down. I've had Fatboy Slim play there.
That's awesome.
Top Loader. We've got Pell and Atini playing there this year.
So it's like an event venue. There's a stage.
Well, it is now.
It used to be an old barn or something. You
Well, I've got a medieval barn on the property and a load of old farm buildings, and you know, there's obviously farmland and growing.
This
land.
is like acres of property.
Yeah. So you know, and then in the middle of it, I've got a house as well, and so yeah, I spend half the week there and half the week in London. It's a real contrast.
That's awesome. And there's a photo studio there too. You do shoots
yeah,
there
we do.
well?
Yeah, this week there's actually a film being shot there. There's a writer in the UK called Peter James, who's I think he's Britain's best-selling author at the moment. He writes these crime novels, and they're shooting a film called Grace, and some of the scenes are being shot there this week in the barn.
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's always something different going on. You know, we've you know, there's conferences going on. There's, you know, but for us, it's a hub for electric. You know, when you come over, I'm going to take you down there. I'm going to get you some wellies. You know, because it can be a bit muddy.
It's a little muddy.
And,
I know. Well, I see your posts. I see you've got like a pig or two or something.
Yeah, I've got
there.
some pigs. You know, it's like when I got there, it was a full working farm.
Okay.
They didn't have many animals. They'd moved more into the like arable farming, and but yeah, I do have some pigs as well.
That's good. You're an animal lover, right?
Yeah. So
I see you're up at like 6 a.m. and you're running, and then you're running how many different businesses? Like
running at 6 a.m. only if we haven't had a night out the night before.
Okay.
I wasn't running at 6 a.m. this morning.
Okay. That's
I went to a very nice restaurant here in Toronto, and there was no running really this morning.
But so you've got so you've got your electric space, you've got Electric London the brand, you've got Farmer Court, you've got all your artwork. I mean, you're always on the move, and right now you're on tour.
Yeah, and it's to me as well. Traveling is a big part of the process because I think one, you get time to think and develop ideas, and two, you get to meet lots of other hairdressers. I've got part of the team tonight, Ben Barkworth and Francesco Fontana, whose place we're in now. You know, it's a great place of creativity.
Yes.
You know, these guys are really, I think, helping us make our way in Toronto. And Ben I've known for many years. He's also the founder of Fast Foils, you know, which I think is a really innovative foil system. And he has brought that to the UK. And, you know, when we first came to Toronto, we'd do all the press events in his salon. So it's nice when hairdressers can bounce off each other like that as well, you know. And he's done 2 big press events in electric space now in London, and had all the industry's press there. He's been launching his foils in the UK. So it's exciting.
It's a great community, and then you get to use each other's spaces. You travel, they travel, and you go back and forth, and it's really kind of work off each other's inspiration.
Well, I think anyone who has a job in an industry they're passionate about, those relationships are the things that make it, aren't they? And it's like Francesco hosting today, and you know, he's obviously got a photographic studio in here, so we'll be doing the photo shoot here tomorrow with I think 6 or 7 Canadian hairdressers, you know, that have booked onto that. I think tonight there's maybe 40 or 50 people here for the electric sessions. There's a community being built, and it's exciting.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm really looking forward to tonight and seeing what the Electric Gang crew has to offer, the Canadian gang here.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. I mean, tonight we've got some great models. You know, we're just gonna share some work. These events, electric sessions, are so informal as well. We want the audience to feel that they can get involved, they can ask any questions, they can be part of it. And it's the opposite of sometimes education is so formal, it almost intimidates people, whereas we want people to just take what they can from it and go and enjoy it the next day. Think, oh, well, I'll try that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Okay.
we're all good.
Well, I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for talking to me, Cheryl. That was fantastic.
Of course. Always happy to have you in Toronto.
Great to see you too.
Okay.
Good.
It's Mark Woolley, people.